Spiraling cost of living is taking a toll on Malaysian parents, over half of whom are still supporting their grown-up children. According to a study commissioned by HSBC, 69% still help to pay for the education of their children over 18 years of age. 41% are helping with everyday living costs such as utility bills, groceries and home repairs. 38% chip in for medical and dental care, 27% pay for rent and accommodation costs, while 29% are even helping to pay for their children's holidays. HSBC notes that these parents spend an average 33% of their disposable income on supporting their grown-up children. 49% are spending less on themselves in order to have more of their families. What this means for many parents are less retirement savings, more debt and zero insurance. HSBC says a significant minority of parents say their adult children would not be able to cope financially without their support. Yet, 54% of parents supporting grown-up children do not have insurance that would pay them if they had a serious illness or accident that prevented them from working, and 52% do not have life insurance. The rapid rise of Malaysia's real housing prices since 2008 could be a source of future instability. The World Bank says increases in housing prices can relax borrowing constraints and allow existing homeowners to increase consumption and ultimately boost the economy. But because prices are shooting up quickly, it creates incentives to build even more new properties, which could potentially lead to a burst in prices and an abrupt adjustment to economic activity. This risk calls for close monitoring, especially since prices are still increasing, though at a lower rate. The World Bank also notes that the higher cost of living is disproportionately affecting lower-income earners, especially those in the urban areas. It says rising housing costs are due to a structural undersupply of housing in the lower end of the market, in particular in highly urbanized parts of the country. It also calls on the government to speed up the rate of increasing new low-cost homes to aid the bottom 40 households. Singapore's central bank has permanently barred 1MDB-linked ex-BSI banker Yeo Jiawei from managing financial services firms and advisory activities. Back in July, a Singapore court jailed Yeo for 4.5 years for money laundering and cheating in relation to siphoning of billions of dollars from the sovereign fund. The permanent prohibition order took effect on Monday. The Monetary Authority of Singapore also issued a 3-year ban for Kevin Scully, the former chief executive of NRA Capital. The regulator said NRA had been appointed to perform the valuation of PetroSaudi and that Scully had failed to ensure that the valuation was carried out with sufficient care, judgment and objectivity. MAS has now issued prohibition orders against 8 people involved in 1MDB-related breaches, following 2 bans announced last month. Top Glove's first quarter earnings were up nearly 44% thanks to record sales revenue backed by strong demand growth in developed and emerging markets. Net profit came in at 105.5 million ringgit compared to only 73.3 million ringgit last year. Revenue came in at 938.1 million ringgit, up 19% from 785.6 million ringgit. Further contributing to demand was the disruption in vinyl glove supply, following China's strict enforcement against polluting industries. Chairman Lim Wee Chai credited the company's results to ongoing improvement initiatives in the manufacturing process. On its prospects, Top Glove said it will continue to expand its operations. It will continue to build up to 2 factories each year, and its current plans for expansion include the construction of 2 new manufacturing facilities, which will be operational next year. Upon completion, this will boost the group's total number of production lines by an additional of 78 lines and production capacity by 7.8 billion gloves per annum. Analysts say Berjaya Sports Toto could be significantly affected by the intensive competition from illegal online gaming sites, unless there is an update on gaming laws to curb illegal operators. CIMB research analyst Christine Wong notes the Common Gaming Houses Act 1953 has not taken into account the evolution of gaming into more advanced and unconventional channels, making it challenging for law enforcers to clamp down on online casinos and gambling operators. She believes that should the explicit banning of illegal online gaming materialize in an amendment of gaming bill, It could serve as a re-rating catalyst for the overall industry and potentially eliminate unregulated online syndicates. Chia Keng-yong of Alliance DBS agrees, saying that besides weak consumer sentiment, competition from illegal betting continues to hinder growth prospects of the sector. Making matters worse, he says competition from illegal operators has intensified since last year, with some willing to increase the prize payout up to 85%. Still, the company makes for defensive yield play. Chia is keeping his whole rating on the stock with a target price of RM2.40, while Wong maintains her ad call with a target price of RM2.85. B-Toto said today its second quarter net profit was down a marginal 1% to 61.7 million ringgit. Revenue retreated 5% to 1.4 billion ringgit. It declared a dividend of 4 cents per share. The counter closed 1% lower today at RM2.25.